So, hello everybody! Welcome back to Nukeshot Media for what is going to be round 3 of Pro Split for the Nukeshot Endurance Series Season 6. I have left my phone volume up. Well, good to know that my voice is registering correctly. I'm of course your commentator today, Nukeshot Zokeo, and joining me in the booth is a recovered Nukeshot Mika 46.
I am alive.
Unbelievable scenes, he's actually well.
For the first time.
So, we have made our trip through the Eiffel and across to the Ardennes, only around 100 or so kilometers away from Nürburgring. It is Spa-Francorchamps here today, with plenty of elevation change and a very different circuit to Nürburgring, in that it is very high speed focused. Could see some different characters appearing towards the sharp end of the field. Going to go through some of those competitors that we have here today. Ollie Polly making their debut as a reserve. You may recall them from a few seasons ago. Still racing for Team Black Diamond if I'm not mistaken. Good to see them back.
Why does he have his windshield wipers on?
I have no idea. I think it's an aerodynamic thing to try and sweep the air to one side.
Yeah.
That clearly works. We also have D-Luck, who is in the GT category, making their return, of course, for the Paradox Sim Sport team. There you see CJ just exiting the pits for Distinct Esports, and now back into the pits, because that's what he does. Tomsoft, another GT, car number 23 in the Mercedes AMG GT3. How many rhymes can we do today? I don't know.
I love that livery. I'm hungry now.
It is rather nice, isn't it, in the Simpac X Oreo car. Oh, but he's sliding. Qualifying's about to get underway for the GTs.
We're actually on time.
Yep. I'm gonna do this.
You're gonna do what?
Oh, I'm typing. The joys of being a race director. Here we go, let's run through some more of the GTs. We've got the Joe 2 guy leading on out at the moment. He's had a bit of an unfortunate start to the season, doing the worst of the 3 TSR cars, so he's hoping to bounce back here today.
Yeah, sure, I'm reading some messages.
No, it's fine, I'll take over. In sharp contrast to the start of the season Joe's had, Fred Dude with a second and a first. He was second last time out, first at the round 1 event at Monza. Now making his return to his home race of the season here in Belgium, of course. Be interesting to see how they do. This track should suit the Hyundai, given its straight line capabilities. It was quite surprising to see Fred up there in second at Nürburgring, but nevertheless he was there. Swablu, of course, I believe he got second last time out, so a solid result for them. They'll be moving their way up the order, no doubt. AXR Gru and the other Hyundai, different team, Apex Racing, probably butchered the pronunciation. Tomsoft, as we mentioned, making their way around, and Y-Bear in the Nukeshot RCZ in a bit of clear air at the moment. Who was that just joined? I believe that was Spooky Lukey. I'll have to sort their BOP out after the qualifying. Mika, would you be available to take us through an onboard lap?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you want me?
We're going to go on board with the Joe 2 guy for a lap of Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. Here, I leave you in the capable hands of Mika.
Alright, here we go, on to the first straight. Trying to get a good exit out of the, that corner.
Just stop your
into La Source. Try to go out as wide as possible. Don't take too much cover, they will carry you off the track. Try to ride as close to the old pit wall as possible to get as much of a good run up to Eau Rouge. And then up Radion actually, onto the Camel. Well, this is Camel, that's Camel straight. Try to get as much top speed out of the car as possible. Slipstream here is going to be very effective. I'm on the wrong car, sorry. Onto Lacan. Now up to Malmedy. Very sweet, but you can carry a lot of speed in this corner. The LMPs tend to be very fast through here, especially the hybrids into Brussels. To double clutch, way ahead. Ignore me. Yeah. To double clutch. I think one of the better corners on the track. Very fun to drive, but if you go too wide, you will lose the car. Into the France. Now up to Campus. This is where a lot of exit is gonna matter, especially in the next corner coming up on Stavolo. If you carry a good speed out of here, especially in slipstream, you will have an easy time overtaking. Try to take the inside here, then come out as wide as possible up to Blanchimont. Now coming up to the bus stop. Joe taking a very grassy line there. Onto the bus stop, chicane. Very interesting chicane, very hard to get right. And now coming up to the checkered flag, and he does a 2:15.7. Not a bad banker time.
Yep, and it's 2:15.757, only 34,000 slower for Fred Dude, and in third place, still only just over half a tenth back from first, is Swablu. So top three, again very close together. AXR Group came
within 7 tenths.
Yep, Root set a 2:16.3 as Tomsoft jumps ahead of them, does a 2:16.1. I believe D-Look will be the next across the line. He's making his way through Blanchimont. Braking heavily for the bus stop. Again, another key overtaking opportunity on the race. At the moment, just focusing on that pure in and out lap time. He's currently on an out lap, is D-Look, so he's just started his lap. And the same is said for Wybear, so they must have took new tyres or something or come into the pits.
Joe is fuel burning.
Yep, stays off the racing line, lets Fred Dude go by, good sportsmanship.
Nearly goes a bit wide, but he kept it in between the lines. BMW can carry a lot of speed through that corner. As you just look at Swablu, a lot more speed than Fred carried in there.
Yeah, that's going to be down to the downforce. I've mentioned it on a couple streams before. The BMW has a very high amount of downforce compared to a lot of other cars. That's mainly to counteract the fact that it's a brake in terms of appearance. So, although it does handle well, it can be a bit tough on the tyres because of that, and we've seen that be to the detriment of the TSR team so far.
Fred Dude now coming through, he's going in for a new set of tyres as Joe follows him.
Yeah,
There's a conspiracy going on here.
Yeah, we've got 7 minutes done, around 3 on the clock, so everyone's coming in order to get their final laps in on fresh rubber.
Swablu is also in, Tomsoft now at the bus stop chicane. His car makes me so hungry. He also goes in. Groot isn't in. Groot did improve by a lot, quite.
Yeah, they jumped ahead of Tomsoft there with a 2:15.935, so they joined the 2:15 club.
D-Lock is now coming up to Blanchimont.
This time it will be to set a representative time. We'll see how it goes. Of course, they can't pit now because they've pretty much ran out of time if they wanted to get back around. So they'll have this and one more on the tyres that they've got. What will it be? It's not looking that representative.
I think he has made a mistake.
Yeah, he's 7 seconds down on that. But he's still got another lap to go.
Where is he? Oh, he's near Stockholm.
It's something that you'll probably figure out, viewers, on this particular stream. Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps has a lot of different corner names for the same corner. For example, there's, I'm trying to think, the Pith Path, which is also known as,
The Pith Path?
Yeah, that was a name on there. I've got it somewhere on the, one of the documents. I think it's on.
I use just a normal track now. I know every corner out of my head.
One that I know off the top of my head definitely is Bruxelles and Ravage. Those two different names for the same corner.
Yeah.
And Wyber goes top of the timing sheets meanwhile at 2:15.516 for the Indonesian.
You also have Puhon and a double gouge. There's also two different. There's a long left-hander. It also has two names.
Yep, there's X and no name.
Well, Radion and Rouge is the same, La Source is the same, La Combs is the same, Camel Strait is the same, Brussels,
This is going to be close.
Campus is also different. Oh no, Campus is the same.
It's going to be close for some of these guys as they're making their way towards getting onto another lap. I think they're just about going to make it.
I just not having a look at the truck. Ah, there are multiple. Now I notice. Yeah. Yeah, you basically have a the one that they really call it, and the one that everyone else calls it, with Wuhan, Ravage, and etc.
So many names to remember. It's a commentator's nightmare, this place.
Because I thought it was always called Brussels.
Yeah, I'd still call it the Bruxelles hairpin. So Tomsoft didn't improve on that lap. They're going to be no higher than 6th. D-Look did improve, but only enough for 7th. So they're still a bit off the pace that we kind of expect from them in that Toyota. Who's still going around? Quite a few people. Who is that 5th place?
Wyber's gone purple again.
I'm trying to see who is it that's making their way. Oh, it is Wyber. He's coming to the end of a lap. He's going to improve further, is he? Good traction. Look at that stability on exit of the bus stop chicane.
And he does go quicker by another 1/10 and a half.
A 2:15.3. Let's see. Making his way through what I call the Pith Path, at least. That is one of the official names, right?
No, it's not.
Well, it's one of the commentary names, at least.
It's La France. La France, or whatever, I don't know.
Fanya, that was it. I think it's Fanya is how they pronounce it.
Yeah, the Fanya. I nearly swore, but I kept it.
Oh dear. Well, we've got an armada of cars making their way through. We've got Groot coming across the line next. That's not going to be an improvement though. They messed up on
Joe into the bus stop chicane now.
He was up on his own time. I'm not sure if he will be quite fast enough. We'll have to see. It's going to be close.
Yes, he does. Second.
And he jumps.
Swablu goes second.
Fred Dude
fastest. Takes pole.
Fred Dude takes pole position at his home race. It was a 1:15.252. What an epic qualifying session. It was Wyber taking second, Swablu jumping up to third, fourth for the Joe 2 guy. Remember, he's quite low on the ballast front. Wyber as well is quite low. So we expect them to be quite towards the sharp end. Groot in 5th, Tomsoft in 6th, and D-Look in 7th.
The top 6 within a second, and the top 4 within 3.
Okay, I'm just going to do
F1 uses an automatic gear according to my graphics, but...
The superior gearbox.
No, almost F1 does use it. What? Some say there are manual ones, some say they're automatic. What? You know what? I'm not gonna bother with it.
Well, there we go. It is going to be Fred Dude taking pole position, and he's one of the highest. I think he's the highest in the GT category for ballast. He's on 5, compared to I don't think anyone else is higher than 3. Oof. Juicy, juicy stuff. Leave a like for that one. Again, let's have a look in the comments while we wait for qualifying to restart, as the LMs are about to get underway. Let me just do this. 10 minutes. Is going to be CJ leading them off. Let me just go through some of the comments then. We've had Sota in chat saying re, John Wondering typically saying nobody cares. Thanks for that one. Tribe Racing's here. Hi Tribe. Hayden, recent addition to the channel, latest subscriber. Nice having you along. Of course, looking to enter the series as well. Fantastic. John Wondering already said hi, but hi again. Amuda's here. He's calling me fat. That's... oh. Roland saying hi Nika. That's pretty funny right there. Spooky Lukey. Hello to you as well. Tomsoft in chat. CJ, one of our moderators. Good having you along as well.
No.
I think that's everyone. Oh, okay. Apparently it's not good having him along. Oh wait, actually, something I just need to quickly check. The BOP, I remember it offhand, is going to be same power as CJ, but yep. Just to clarify. So, we're seeing a little bit of fuel burning, are we? No, that was just the brake input. Ignore me. Oh dear. Hello to Mika in the chat.
Oh, hey.
Never say that again.
Oh, hey!
So, marbles already built up on the outside of some of these corners from the GT qualifying session. Could have an effect. CJ about to start his lap, looking for that very wide entry in order to maximise the speed going onto the start-finish straight. We're going to go on board with him for a lap, just so you can get a sense of speed. We also got the speed graphics, of course, in miles an hour, the throttle and brake responses as well. Making his way downhill. Now, the actual incline from this downhill leading to Orange to the uphill of Radion, 32 degrees is there.
I've walked there and it looks a lot higher than it is. It's a lot higher. If we did a track walk there after the race, and if you stand at the top of Radion and you look down, you're like, holy crap, that's high. That's very high. If we walk down, the incline is insane.
Making his way out the Lacombe complex and down towards the Russell hairpin. Again, careful on the brakes. Downhill, you always want to be cautious, because the car will naturally understeer. And again, through X, formerly No Name, towards Puan, and making that double apex work. Just clicking the outside curve, nicely done. That's a corner that really suits the non-hybrids, I find. They seem to be quite hooked up through there. Nice rhythm through again. I'm going to refer to it as the fifth path. Meek will keep laughing at me for doing so.
I hate you.
What I believe is Stavolo and full Freya curve. Down to the flat out section towards Blanchimont. Let's see what CJ can do. should be easy flat in these prototype cars, of course. Just about maintaining the speed by taking as smooth a line as possible. Hard on the brakes for the bus stop. They got it stopped quite early. What's it going to be?
Very good lap for CJ.
We're expecting sub 2 minutes, quite easy. It is a 1:58.305. We'll see how Ollie does on their debut. It's fastest, it's a 1:57.996. TKS.
TKS 1:58.6. Spooky has done a 1:59.0.
So, everyone just over a second separated. That's not too bad for opening laps. We still got quite a bit of the session to go, and of course, with lap times being faster for the LM category, a little bit more open in terms of when you can pit for fresh rubber and such. We also saw some of the sparks that came off Spooky's car as he made his way up Radion, and that compression. As there's two cars very close together. I think that is CJ and no, sorry, it's TKS and Ollie. They're close together. I'm surprised that they are as close together as they are. You'd think one of them, probably TKS, would back off, get himself a bit of room. As he's actually gone off, he's spun! He's in the wall, he's picked up heavy damage!
CJ's also gone wide.
No, he can reset to the pits. That is allowed.
CJ's got a penalty.
CJ, what's new? No, sorry, that's disrespectful. But a massive incident there for Mr. TKS, and he's choosing to drive it to the pits. That's an interesting call. We've seen many people already this season just reset to the pits. But he's choosing to drive through it. That's going to cut quite a lot of his time.
CJ into the pits.
That'll be for fresh rubber. We've got 3 minutes and around 40 seconds to go in the session. Well, we've actually managed to catch something on camera for once, so big up to Jack Wilkinson.
Does the Audi charge by itself on the straight?
It does not, no. It's a mechanical hybrid system.
Yeah, no, then the graphics is just... it said the hybrid is charging on the straight, but that's just perfect.
Yeah, that's probably because the flywheel is increasing in speed as it goes down the straight, as the engine revs increase. So that's probably why that's coming up. CJ exiting the pits, they're going to be just behind Ollie. Ollie still with the fastest time of all. It's been a very impressive debut so far. We'll see if they can keep it up. As TKS has made it to the pits, and Spooky's in the pits as well. Both of these should comfortably get onto another lap. Spooky has left the pits, making their way towards...
Ollie is improving in the first sector by 2 tenths.
Interesting, it's the first sector. That's where you think the non-hybrids would be quite strong. It's the second one.
Quick on the straight.
Of the hybrids, the R18 is the fastest of the 3 modern hybrids in a straight line, just because of how its hybrid system works. It tends to deploy quite fast, but then sort of burns out. But it seems to be working for him at the moment. Whether we'll have the race pace to match it up is a different question. We've seen the R18s in the past be very quick in qualifying, but perhaps lag back a little bit come lap 4 or 5 after the hybrid has been drained. He's still purple though, as he made his way through Sector 2. We're going to check on CJ to see... never mind, we're not going to check on CJ. Who are we going to check on? Everyone else is on outlaps, so we're going to stay with Ollie Polly. Braking for the bus stop. What is their time going to be?
Good line.
It's the punch of the hybrid on exit. It is an improvement, 157.538 in the end. Very solid lap time by them. So it's going to be Spooky going onto their lap first, of the ones that were on their out laps, followed by CJ, who seems to have dropped back a little bit, just timing himself. And I think TKS should be cleared to get onto a lap from there. Yep, they're approaching the bus stop now. Any improvement again from Ollie in the first sector?
I have a look. Just a bit too late. I can give you one on CJ.
Yeah, I expect the Alpines to be very fast through that first sector.
Well, I should say he doesn't have the top speed compared to the R18. It's maybe a kilometer. He did improve by less than a tenth in the first sector. The R18 was actually faster on the straight. Or just about the same.
Now that might be because CJ's opted to go for more of a handling setup, knowing that he has a straight line advantage, in order to not lose out in sector 2.
Big there.
Yep, making his way through. Just got to be careful with these slight mistakes. This is everyone's final lap. Ollie Polly is making their way on the run uphill towards Blanchimont and the bus stop. They are ghosted. Have they paused? It appears they've paused. So that's probably going to be it for Ollie.
CJ's gone purple.
As expected, through that sector 2. So definitely going for a handling setup. Although it should favour the hybrids, it should also favour non-hybrids in that there are quite a few high-speed corners through that section. Spooky's going to be first across the line of this group. What do they do? Is it going to be an improvement? It looks like it. They go third with a 158.588. They improve, but it's not enough. It's a 157.933 for CJ. Meanwhile, we've got TKS, the last one on a lap. Look like they set a personal best, sector 2. What are they going to do? They've got a lot of hybrid to punch out the corner. They go third. It's a 158.539 for Mr. TKS. Just a second off the pace, or just over a second. 1,000th off. That on top of the second. There is your results. I'm just going to quickly screenshot. But it is going to be Ollie Polly on pole position on their debut this season. Whew. Well, Mika, that was a fantastic qualifying session, much like we saw in the GTs as well. Plenty of position swapping towards the end of that.
It's gonna be a good race. GT Colossus very, very close.
I've just noticed Ollie has picked up rear aero damage. I think that might be just from spinning into the wall.
Yeah, he hit the wall when he parked his car.
Yeah, okay, so that wouldn't have affected his lap. Nevertheless, it's going to take a while for the team to repair that if we're going for the immersion commentary factor. Juicy, juicy stuff. So, our good friend the Joe2 guy is going to set the grid. Again, if you are enjoying the stream so far, I know the race hasn't started yet, but be sure to leave a like. We're up to 12 viewers at the moment. So, fantastic having you guys all along.
Way too people are watching, way too many people are watching this. What are you doing with your time?
Do you mind? Oh dear. So, grid being set and such, still got a few minutes or so. Technically it should start in 1 minute, but I shall, as the sidemen would say, allow it.
Allow it, fam.
Ollie's making their way around the track with that rear aero damage at the moment.
Oh my god.
What has happened?
No, I just saw a new Sidemen video.
Oh, the ping pong was jokes.
No.
Oh, the
That new
Sidemen Sunday.
Sidemen Sunday.
Oh no.
Sidemen hot tub mukbang.
Oh, that's mad.
Oh, I want so much food. I'm so hungry.
I know. I haven't even got my trademark beverage here today in the booth, so sad times for me.
I'm just hungry. Hungry.
Just sending the reminder out. Again, also thanks for Swablu for putting that in chat. I was going to remember, don't worry. So everyone just on their breaks at the moment. Chat, your predictions! Here we go, another new tradition to the channel. Who do you think is going to do well? Who do you think is going to cause a safety car? But let's hope there aren't any of those. But in all seriousness, what do you think is going to happen today? Let us know in the chat. Or in the comments if you're watching this in the distant future of a couple days or further. Tomsoft pressed the power button, the power off button rather, on his wheel. That is not the best of tactics in the world. Mika with the prediction that I will butcher names and his voice will crack a few times. Spooky predicting he's not going to be on the podium. It takes... Okay, I don't want to jinx anyone in particular, or anyone at all really, but it does take just one DNF or one mistake.
Monza happened. We didn't jinx anything and Monza happened, so I hope it's going to be like this again.
We've been good at not jinxing stuff so far this season. Now that I've said that, it's going to go out the window, but we shall see. Oh no, balls, please. I'm gonna say everyone ready. Another thing, the leaders are to go at the timing line itself this time. There is no restart zone. Typing McGee. Keep leaving your predictions in chat. Ollie and Ybear to win is CJ's prediction. Okay, CJ will get it wrong over a curb and Spooky get a podium is a prediction from Sota.
CJ will CJ it.
No, we don't say that because he doesn't like it when we say that.
CJ. What the dog doing?
I'm just going through procedures first. Hold on. Fun times. Getting there. I'd probably be slower if I typed on the keyboard anyway.
That's not good.
Just gonna ask if the grid is set. Pipe down, John. Look, I know it's taking a while, but there's a lot of stuff that goes into running a racing league. And we've still got 11 viewers at the moment.
It's not like he does anything.
Okay, we're about ready to get things underway. We'll not go through the grid as of yet because, of course, as some of you may have heard earlier today, the news came in that Natalie Maye, apologies if I mispronounced that, the CEO of Spa-Francorchamps has unfortunately passed away, so we're arranging to have a minute's silence in her remembrance. Thank you again for your time. I'm sure Natalie would have been happy to know that we continue to race in her honor. Moving on to the grid for the race, of course. Plenty of action to come here on Nukeshot Media. Ollie Polly leading them off in the LM category, going a little bit fast. Got to watch out for that. I'm going to remind them 2 car lengths as well. So, Mika, if you could talk us through the grid.
Alright. In first we have the Audi of Ollie Polly, in second we have the Alpine of Crazy John, in third we have the Toyota of TKS, in fourth we have the other Alpine of Spooky Looky, in fifth in the GT class on pole, that's first pole for Fred Dude in the Genesis, we have second for Y-Bear in the Peugeot, third for Swap Blue in the BMW, I'm sorry. We have fourth for Joe in the BMW, followed by Groot in the Genesis, who is followed by Tom Soft in the BMW, who is followed by D-Luck in the Toyota Supra.
In terms of tyres, is everyone going for racing super softs? Oh no, CJ's going for regular softs. So perhaps dealing with that tyre wear issue.
CJ is on softs, TKS is on softs, and Lucky is on super softs. Ollie is also on super soft.
So split strategies in the LM category. In the GTs as well, Mika?
Yeah, GTs all super soft.
All supers for the GTs. We're expecting 2 stops for the GTs, perhaps 1 stops for the LMs. It remains to be seen. We'd think it may be the Toyota of D-Look might be able to stretch it on fuel to a 1 stop. But you say that they've also gone for the super soft compound, so that will take a bit of tyre wear saving.
I don't know if it's quicker.
All the pit deltas have increased dramatically, of course, since we last had like season 5 or so. As the LM cars are forming up. LM double up. Odds to the right. So they're about to make it to the start.
Ollie going for the aerodynamic windscreen wiper as well.
Yeah, we'll see what kind of advantage that gives them at the start. We're about to go racing here at Circuit des Spa-Francorchamps. They go at the timing line. It is green, 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 and the cars are up and immediately the Toyota pulls alongside, right to the insideline.com. Do they outbrake themselves? It looks like Ollie might get a cutback. Making their way down towards Eau Rouge.
Does not. The hybrid is just a bit better, but he does have the slipstream advantage and the straight line speed advantage here. He's looking to go for a move. He has a penalty though. He's just also sliding back around the outside. Beautiful move there by Ollie.
Yep, retaking the lead after losing it at the start. That again seemed to be the initial straight line advantage that the R18 has over its hybrid rival. CJ looking to the outside. Be interesting to see what kind of lines he'll be able to take with the high downforce that the Alpine produces. The GTs meanwhile are taking their time. Making their way through.
TKS on the inside.
He's looking for it. Oh, CJ around the outside. CJ managed to make it around the outside of the first part of the pith path. You can laugh again at me if you like. TKS looking to retake it, can't quite. We're going to go to the GT start as Fred Dude leads them off.
Y-Bear having a good start. Y-Bear is ahead. On the outside. Everybody. Oh, and
Groot's round! Was that by himself or did he get tapped?
Yes.
I didn't quite see.
So look at Spooky Looky. Whoa, 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 whoa. He's moved ahead of TKS.
Yeah, so that Alpine, number 216, is on the move up the order.
Joe on the inside with Y-Bear.
Oh,
outside.
It's a TSR sandwich with a Nukeshot filling nearly, as Tomsoft is trying to make it 3 wide with the TSR
It's
cars.
an Oreo. Literally.
Ew, they've got to be really careful with each other. So Joe makes up a position. Swablu's had a nightmare of a start, losing position to both their teammates. I recall them qualifying ahead of them. D-Look, meanwhile, staying out of things at the moment. Someone's... Yeah, I was going to say
TKS is Zokeo are fighting.
Juicy stuff. As the LMs are actually coming up to lap these guys already quite soon.
As Ollie's already pulled quite a gap.
But that gap might shrink down once the hybrid is all drained from that R18.
It is pretty much already all drained.
Yep. So it's the windscreen wiper that's helping them out now. What's been going on? Oh, around the outside! Was that from TKS? Can't quite make that work, or was that Spooky just defending their position? Or attacking?
No, it was TKS trying to overtake.
Couldn't quite get it to work on that occasion.
Joe all over the back of Viber like a bad crash.
We're going to go on board with Widebear's rear wing cam here, looking at the TSR train behind him. Plenty of action going off. As to the inside, that's very late on the brakes. Joe's outbroke himself. He has to slot back in. That's going to compromise his exit and allow Swablu back past. And now the carnage continues as the LMs are now starting to catch up to these guys. CJ still in second, Ollie is still in the lead of the LMs, but this, with all the traffic, and it's still being really close together in the GTs, this could be a nightmare for the LMs to pass in what I predict will be Sector 2 when they come up to the leaders.
As Ollie also put in a fastest lap 158.5.
Yeah, that's currently the fastest lap of the race. Here come the LMs. Going to go on board with Ollie, making their way through. They are going to get caught out, as that was one of the BMWs looking to make a move on, I think that was Wyber up ahead. So that was Swablu having a look. It's got to be a case of patience for Ollie. Using the hybrid, punch out the corners. Can he get to the inside of Joe? Yes, he can. Has to, again, stay patient, slots himself between the two BMWs.
CJ's also stuck in the middle of it.
Oh, this is fantastic stuff to watch, though. This is going to be great for a thumbnail.
And it allowed CJ almost to get into slipstream range, but CJ has to slot back in behind another car.
Again, difficult to follow through Juan as he goes around the outside.
Oh, Spooky Lucky and Swablu almost touch.
TKS right on the back of Spooky as well. TKS seems to be using Spooky as kind of his kind of way of forging a path for him to continue his way through. So he's able to stick really close to the Alpine. Through all of that chaos, Fred Dude is still very much in the lead of the GT.
But look how close Spooky Lucky now is closest to John.
They are in equal machinery, but CJ does have ballast. Quite a bit of it as well around the outside of Blanchimont. What a move from Spooky Lucky.
That was beautiful.
On the brakes, still CJ has to slot back in.
That was beautiful.
Whew. Racecraft McGee, and now the LMs have a lot of clear track ahead of them, so they might space out a bit. Oh, that was so fantastic. To the inside. Oh, and nearly contact between TKS and Spooky Lucky. Sliding from TKS. But it seems that TKS does have a run with the hybrid. CJ's down to 4th from all of this somehow. He'll get them back, you'd think, on the straight. We're going to go rear wing cam on TKS rather. CJ forced to go to the outside line. He's got the slipstream also from Spooky. Nothing really that the Toyota can do on that occasion. Can we cut to the GT for this quick? Is something happening in the GTs?
No, just train.
Yeah, everyone's starting to space out a bit. Oh, D-Look perhaps trying to make a move. Definitely looked out of, or looked to be making something, putting himself in the mirrors of Tom Soft, I think I'm trying to say. So he is starting to find his feet. Where's Brute in all this? I know they dropped back quite early, but they haven't picked up.
Behind.
Yeah, they haven't picked up damage though. Is the crucial thing. So they can make up this time if they keep on squabbling. up ahead. He can make that up. He's done a 2:16.8.
He is lapping faster than Tomsoft and D-Lock. Also faster by 10th than Swablu Wyber. Yeah, he's lapping faster than everyone except for Joe.
Juicy stuff. Wyber continues to hold second place at the moment in the GT category, as TKS has managed to find their way ahead of Spooky again. Yes, CJ's through as well. So Spooky demoted a couple places. The juicy... There's too much going on now. There's so much. This is normally the problem. I know we have Jack Wilkinson, but it's a bit much.
TKS now right up CJ's gearbox again.
Watch for the hybrid here, the punch. Here we go. Will he get to it?
Side by side of our
Clears it. And now CJ might have to lift a little bit, as he will have the speed going up through Oruj and Radion. No, he doesn't. He manages to stick behind. And again, forced to the outside. We'll be able to get this move done relatively easy, unless the Toyota challenges on the brakes. You know the Alpine struggles a bit on the brakes, from what CJ has been telling us. Especially with that ballast as well. As Swablu back ahead of the Joe 2 guy.
Through this gained about half a second that lap. On D-Lock. So it's going the right way.
Interesting. The Peugeot seems to have a better top speed than the Hyundai, even outside of slipstream range. So he is reeling him in on the straights.
I think it's also due to the ballast that Fred has.
Yes, that would also make sense. Sort of weighing the car down as they make their way through the rise, decreasing acceleration. Still churning their way through. I'm really surprised that Fred is managing to keep this kind of pace at the front of the field. Maybe that'll be different if he does get overtaken with dirty air. He might fall back. But at the moment it seems to be working well for him. Very good at leading from the front. Seems to be where he's most comfortable. Tomsoft starting to drop back a bit from these top four guys. Again, the top four breaking away, but guys can't quite keep pace. D-Look is keeping Tomsoft company, as Swablu goes a little bit over the AstroTurf on exit.
Oh, CJ's a bit of an oversteer moment there. That's going to cost him a lot of time. So they're side by side again. And he clears him again.
There's two battles going on at once. The little Swablu's going to try and dive around the outside, going into the bus stop chicane. Does he try it? Does he get it done? No, he has to back out of it in the end of things. They snake their way through. Now, TKS looked a lot closer there, going into the braking zone, than they did the lap before of Lacombe. Nevertheless, they stick behind for now. All this is really allowing Ollie to escape up the road. 4 seconds now, the gap between first and second.
Lacombe, Reddish.
Lacombe. This is not a lesson in speaking language, I'm sorry. This is me being me peasant. I know, I'm sorry.
I hate you.
I hate me too. It's fine.
Let's look at this. Wyber within slipstream range 110th. Below 110, he's going for a move around the outside and he clears him.
He manages to get it done. Does Fred do come back at him? As I think that was Joe getting ahead of Swablu as well. So the two TSR BMW teammates chopping around. And the crucial thing for Wyber is he's ahead going into the twisty section, so he'll be able to maximise this. Fredu's going to have to sit behind for most of this second sector in the dirty air. That could drop him back and become a bit of a roadblock for the TSR cars.
Wyber not fully maximising his apexes though.
Making his way around. You've got to be really careful. Later on into the stints, we might see some cars drift a bit wide there through Quant as the tyre wear kicks in and the understeer along with it. Is there some madness going off in the LMs at the moment? Is it still in battle with second and third? It is indeed. TKS has a bit more of a gap this time over CJ as they make their way through Eau Rouge and Radion. Sparks being thrown up. TKS might have a chance at staying ahead. It'll be very difficult. Might get him on the brakes, TKS, if he has a chance. I think he is going to stay there. CJ has to back out of it, so that's a key moment there. TKS gets ahead of CJ and stays ahead going into Sector 2.
Fred couldn't find again, but Joe is on the inside of Fred. Beautiful move into the bush again, but they're still side by side. Who has the more traction coming out of the corner? Joe's a bit wiggly.
Unbelievable.
Fred manages to stay ahead.
No, Joe's still there on the inside. Fred later on the brakes. Joe has to back out of it. I'm going to see if we can get a replay of the whole thing. Here it was. So through Blanchimont, Weiber seemed to hold up Fred as Fred had a bit of a run on him. That allowed Joe to be very late on the brakes. A bit of a lock-up from Weiber actually. And then Fred managing to take that position back in the end.
TKS managing to stay ahead this time in the twisty sector. This allowed him to pull out of
Three wide, are we?
range.
Yep. It's a TSR sandwich with a Starscream filling this time around, and both the TSR cars go through, do they?
Oh, there's a bit of a
no, not
touching
quite.
there.
Fred Dude manages to just about hold on to one of those positions, but as I mentioned, once he got into the dirty air, that ballast, and of course the dirty air is too much for Fred Dude. He's dropping like a stone at this stage of the race. Weiber has managed to get a bit of a gap on these guys. It's 1.8 seconds.
TKS now pulling away in second, 1.2 seconds now. Ahead of CJ, but Suzuki is behind CJ getting a bit slidey out of the corner there into a little snap of oversteer.
Will we see TKS eat into the gap that Ollie has over second place? It currently stands at 5 or so seconds. There you see, the R18 hybrid of the hybrids is very good for the straight line speed. Perhaps also something in the setup there that Ollie's doing. The two Alpines, third and fourth at the moment. Ooh, CJ just flirting with the AstroTurf. Was that just a little bit of a slide?
Yeah.
Side by side through Blanchimont
Fred
again.
Dude. He's goes a bit off track there. But there's allowed Joe to get right back up there.
Getting to be close. I think Joe might just muscle his way through.
No, not yet, but Swablu moves ahead of his teammate to maybe give him the edge on the slipstream.
All this is continuing to let Weiber escape up the road a bit. To the inside goes Fred. Does he have enough space to make that work? Oh, he just about does. And the key thing is he'll have the slipstream off Swablu, which will also stop Joe from having a run on him. Nevertheless, it's looking very close. Onion Bargies almost bump drafting as they make their way through. There is only one line, so I'll have to allow it if there is any bump drafting going on. Not through here though, as we see Swablu not even going defensive. No! That's very risky from Joe!
Again. This allowed Fred to move up the place again and take third.
Meanwhile, I think that's D-Look having a bit of a challenge with Tomsoff. Let me see if I can catch that one again. Yep, just through Lake Cole. It looked like D-Look had to back out of it in the end, but he was very close and is still really close behind the Mercedes. Let's see in terms of tyre wear. Tyre wear! D-Look has been saving tyres. What's been going on?
TKS is now 1.2 seconds behind Ollie. He has closed the gap.
What has happened to Ollie? Has he picked up damage?
Ollie,
no, he hasn't. Was it a mistake?
No, he's had a very, very bad lap at 2 minutes 02.
He must have made a mistake somewhere, but it hasn't cost him any damage. And now TKS has that visual sight ahead of the car he's chasing. This is, but well, I know, 10 laps in, technically 9. It's far from over.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Again, if you're enjoying this, leave a like. So much juicy stuff going on. The LM's probably going to start lapping the GTs on the next lap, if not the lap after, so that's coming up again for these guys. But as I mentioned, as I just thought, D-Look has been really saving tyres in comparison to Tom Soft. He's also got a fair bit more fuel than him, so he's definitely trying to stretch that, maybe get a shorter pit stop rather than just trying to make it on a one stop, but you never know. Maybe he can stretch those tyres to a one stop.
I think it is possible.
Swablu, not the best of exits through La Source, rather, not Lake Colm. He's just within slipstream range, but I think Joe being in slipstream range of Fred is going to pull Joe ahead, and now Swablu is indeed out of slipstream range. So Swablu could start dropping back a bit more. Groot, meanwhile, has moved up into 10th place as did D-Look make a mistake?
It looks like it.
They haven't picked up damage.
Maybe a spin somewhere.
It looked like they were very to the inside wall. I'm not 100% sure what happened. Maybe someone checked the arrow on the track map when we was going through that. But D-Look down to 11th in overall. I believe that's 6th in category. 7th, mind you. Because Joe has managed to get ahead of Fred Dude. As Swablu goes wide, we mentioned the marbles. As they build up throughout a race, Swablu goes very wide through P1. And he picks up a penalty for it as well. Things going bad to worse. The tyre wear really starting to kick in on these BMWs. Let's see if Joe's doing any better. Not really.
Wyber's doing very well on tyres.
Yeah, he's pretty much been unchallenged since he managed to get ahead of Fred Dude. Of course, he doesn't have any ballast, unlike a lot of the guys behind him. He didn't have the best of starts to the season, but he's making the most of that lack of ballast here. He might get a penalty for running a bit wide there through Blanchemont, but we'll have to see what the game says. Seems to have not got away with it. Yep, he does get a penalty. Look at the marbles built up there at the bus
CJ's
stop.
now back into 4th. STKS is into 1st. Hold up.
What on that? Sorry, we've so much going off. We're going to have to check this. Going into the bus stop. Ollie, right behind TKS. Look, the LMs are completely closed up as they're now lapping the GTs once again.
Traffic must have really closed that gap.
CJ's in the pit, so CJ got
stop.
damage. No, this is a scheduled stop for CJ. He's going for the 2-stop, of course.
Yep. TKS now ahead. Ollie still behind, but Ollie, they both have the hybrid. But Ollie has the straight line speed.
Oh, this is a fascinating battle indeed as they make their way up Radion. TKS will have to slipstream off the GT car. That could be crucial. Thompson on the grass.
Goes a bit off. Look at the speed he's able to carry. Oh, he's looking for a move.
CJ only just fueling up.
Oi,
To the inside.
Ooh. Ghosting really saved Ollie there.
CJ exiting the pits at the moment. He's got a lot of clear air.
As Joe's now ahead of Fred.
Yeah, Joe manages to move up into 2nd place. Will he be able to hunt down Wybear? Wybear now has a 4 or so second gap as TKS makes their way through. Oh, and Joe speed up!
Joe's lights!
He's gone off. He just clipped the curb, ran onto, well, like that unsettled the car, and the marbles carried him further wide. He's lucky to escape without damage.
That was a great save.
Save of the day so far. Ooh, the dangers of multi-class racing, though.
As TKS has now passed the whole field.
Yep, gets past Wybear. Ollie will have slipstream off of Wybear for a bit longer, though, and manages to get ahead before Blanchemont, which is crucial. What was I going to say? CJ pitting. I reckon that might be to avoid hitting the traffic quite as soon.
I think so, could be.
Because we just saw all that chaos that no doubt everyone has lost out in. That could be very interesting later into the race when these guys have made their first pit stops. If CJ manages to get ahead.
CJ nearly spins.
As soon as I say anything. Oh, 2 TSR cars into the pits. So that's Swablu and Joe?
Yes.
let's see, it was through the pith path,
Their
was it?
tires,
for
yeah,
CJ?
are very, very sharp.
And he just ran a little bit wide onto the AstroTurf, gathered it back up. He's on the racing softs, is CJ, again, so he is choosing to stick with that. The tyre wear really killing him in the Alpine. Where do Tom Soft and Swablu rejoin? The pit delta is so long here, they're going to rejoin in last and second to last. Jeremy Clarkson split, as we say.
Yeah, they're already lost now.
Look, Joe's only just fueling up. He hasn't fueled up that much either, so he's keeping the car nice and light.
They're both on the same. Both on 64%.
No doubt they're in a party
TKS and Ollie are going at it again.
Back at it again.
With the white fans. Ollie does have the better tires.
Indeed, that is the case.
Trust my statistics.
Juicy. I ran out of words in my vocabulary so far.
Spicy.
There we go, spicy. Juicy and spicy. I don't have any juice here today. Oh, sad times. Oh, my voice. What's going off here? That is the two TSR cars still close together on track. Joe ahead of Swablu. Both sticking with the super softs. Oh, that is fascinating.
Ollie now into slipstream. Oh no, wait. Yeah, he isn't. No. Is he? Ollie in! Ollie in!
They're in the pits. They're in the pit. They're going to try and get an undercut here.
But is he gonna have to do a two-stopper?
Is this that good of a strategy? This might put them back into the mire that was the GT field when they rejoin.
I think so.
Look, CJ's only coming up to the
out of the last corner.
Yeah,
this puts him right back where he was.
Assuming Ollie comes out around where CJ is, he is going to be around where D-Look and Groot are. Groot, meanwhile, has managed to get up into 8th place, so great recovery work by them.
But the thing is he going to go to the softs or is he going to stay on the super softs? But I don't think he's going to have to. He can't make another stint on the super softs. He is on another set of super softs.
Who's this?
Is
this Groot or someone else?
Groot and D-Look are close together.
Yeah, but who was it on the second set of supers? Were you on about? Was it Ollie?
Ollie, yeah.
Ah, okay. So they are sticking with it, and they have come out ahead of CJ, so trying to miss the traffic, it hasn't worked for CJ. He's 2.5
but this
behind.
Does give TKS a lot of breathing space.
Yep. TKS is going to stay out until he reckons he can clear the GTs after his pit stop, I reckon.
I think he's going to wait till lap 16 just for the one stop.
Yeah, we could definitely see that from him. He can stretch the fuel, and he's on the regular softs as well, so that might have been his plan all along, is to one stop.
And at this moment, it does look like it's working. Of course, they're being quite hard on tires. The Porsche is also very harsh on tires.
Yeah, that's because, of course, with the hybrid deployment going through the front wheels can lead to understeer. It essentially turns it into front wheel drive for the front wheels, so it does kill the front tires on occasion. Fastest lap in the LMs is Ollie Polly with a 158.543. Mika, who's the fastest in the GTs at the moment?
I'm gonna check my statistics. It is Wyber with a 2 minute 15.714. The second fastest lap is by Swablu, 2:15.737. Then Joe, then Fred, then Tom Soft, and then D-Lug and Groot. But Wyber at the moment now has the fastest lap.
Yep, and that was set all the way back on lap 4. So that was before he was even in the lead. Maybe Slipstream assisted then? But nevertheless, he's got a 7.4 second gap over Fred, dude.
Because I think Ollie's time was on lap 3 3 or 4 also. That hasn't changed.
Am I seeing this right? I'm thinking that the TSR guys, Swablu and Joe, have made a massive strategy error here in going for the 2-stop in the GTs.
Could be. Same could be maybe for Ollie, because he also went very early on a set of supers.
What's the gap between Swablu and Ybear at the moment?
Oh, that's a good one.
Because that's the amount of time that these guys would have to make up if they're doing a second stop.
Has to be more than 20 seconds. Or 30. Has to be over 30 seconds, over, I think, like 40, 45 seconds.
How are you going to make that up? Even if it's like a second a lap, that's not enough.
Because Ybear at this point is going for a 1-stopper, which is on the super softs, which is very well going to work out.
You've been saving
especially
those
now we're over the half of the race mark.
Oh, half the race gone.
I wasn't gonna. Yeah. No, copyright.
I think Felix won't mind. I've worked with him in the past. He's all right. Big up, half the race gone. Again, big up to the viewers. Currently 9 of you.
Why did you
it
say
was
Felix?
10. Felix? Durton. Oh no, it's all gone wrong. Big up to Felix as well while we're at it though.
Yeah, big up my man. Big up my German G.
G for German. There we go. Alliteration thing.
I think Ybear is gonna pit next lap. He is losing a bit of time tire-wise as Swablu and Joe are lapping faster. Well, Swablu is, Joe isn't. He has maybe made a mistake last lap. TKS tires are very, very short, but he is 4 seconds ahead of Spooky Lukey, who also still needs to come in. Ollie is now 35 seconds behind, so the undercut is working at the moment.
Oh, the front tyres on Tomsoft's car are shredded as he comes into the pits. There you see Jack Wilkinson kneeling on the ground.
And I think CJ might also make it, because I think the pit stop delta is 38 seconds or something. And he's 37 seconds ahead now. Behind, sorry.
His last lap was a 1:59.3.
TKS was a 2-minute. 2-minute flap.
But he's got track position and crucially 1 stop less than these guys.
He's going for another lap.
Clearly he's just confident in the way the car's handling at the moment. Then.
Spooky Lukey comes in now.
I'll just do that real quick. I'm going to reset the stream if I can, just to see some stuff. Indeed, Spooky has come into the pits. The crew are still waiting for him to get there. Say hi in chat if you're here.
No.
Oh, okay. Now, where will Spooky rejoin? Because we know Ollie has already done that pit stop. Ollie's coming across the line now. And there you see CJ in the background too. As Ollie goes, new fastest lap of the race, 1:58.445.
CJ is also past
I
Spooky.
just hit my knee on my desk. Ow.
Look at this. They're very close to each other, but CJ does have the track position now.
Yep. Had the run from being able to accelerate.
Yep, I heard the pain. Yep.
It's all gone wrong. What does the survey say?
I expect Ybear. Ybear still isn't coming in.
Maybe again he's trying to work out here. If he pits, he'll probably come out behind the TSR guys, given that they've done an undercut. So
no,
he's trying to
still,
stay clear
at this
air.
point, I'm gonna try to count 8 seconds.
Yeah, but it takes that long to do a pit stop. Remember, the TSR guys weren't that far behind. Look into the pits. Sorry, I'll let you do your calculation.
Yeah, I don't have the brain power.
Oh dear, Mika EXE has stopped working.
9 plus... Wait, 9...
9 plus 10, 21.
Well, it's 10 plus... 16 plus... 9... And he is... was 0.2. They're about 35.2 seconds behind, so they are ahead at this point.
Yep, that's to be expected with the undercut. So that's probably my guess as to why Wide Bear is staying out, so he can maximise that final stint. And he's also baiting Fred Dude into staying out with all of this. Fred Dude is 10 seconds back, and he's not made an extra pit stop compared to Wide Bear.
He's doing 2 minute 18.
So clearly, Fred Dude is being baited by Wide Bear into following the same strategy.
Spooky Lukey now very close behind CJ within slipstream range.
Could see a run going on board with Spooky Lukey as they make their way up the hill. Sparks flying in the camera's lens as we make our way up through Radion.
Big up.
Card 25 defends the InsideLine.com for everything NES, but it looks like 216 is going to get his way through. Spooky round the outside going through Lake Arm.
I'm expecting Wyber to go in.
Well, he's got to pit for fuel at some point. Yep. Wyber into the pits. Car 16. Will Fred Dude follow suit?
Bruh. I'm also expecting TKS is, by the way, in traffic again.
Yeah, the lappery's begun. He's got by the two TSR BMWs. Be interesting to see where those two come out in relation to Wyber and Fred Dude. We expect them to be ahead, as neatly calculated.
I'm expecting him to go in this lap as well. Oh, and he goes a bit wide, bit deep, but he also goes into the pits. The leaders are now into the pits.
That's TKS. Yep, TKS into the pits. Where is Ollie? Ollie is not through Blanchimont yet. He's on the run through there.
Has been overtaken by the TSR guys.
Wyber still in the pits. He's fueled up and he's released by the Nukeshot pit crew.
How far is he behind? 8 seconds.
He will have a tyre advantage though, and of course he doesn't have the ballast. We already know their pace.
TKS is nearly out of the pits, I think. If they allow me to close up on TKS. Car's being fueled, and he's out.
Just looking, Wyber has definitely fueled to the end, so that is his strategy. He's very safe on fuel from what I can tell.
Was TKS on the super sauce before this?
TKS has been on the regular softs, as far as I know.
He has changed the super softs. Maybe he tried to do the long run so he could do the super soft stint now.
Possibly. Perhaps, as Otis the Cow once said.
Ollie in the lead now, followed by Lukey, followed by CJ now, and TKS now in fourth. The two TSR cars are now in the lead. Wyber's 9 seconds behind.
Now the TSR cars have got to work together. They're not going to realistically gain around 40 or so seconds that a pit stop is going to cost, especially now Wyber is on newer tyres, but they've still got to work together to make sure they don't lose more track position with this two-stop strategy. Maybe they're banking on a safety car, who knows?
We still haven't had one.
Yeah, the Galaxy Brain strategy. Now that we've said that, one's going to happen, but
yeah.
Especially now there's plenty of traffic going on with the LMs coming through. Here we see Spooky overtaking Fred Dude. Fred Dude with a 0.5 penalty for corner cutting.
Typical Belgium.
CJ making his way through. He actually doesn't have a penalty at the moment for corner cutting. That's rather novel. He could be held up a bit by Fred Dude through the bus stop chicane, and there's TKS in the background. I have no idea which way this is going to go, really, in the LMs. Like, I can make a vague prediction that Wyber, bar any mistakes, has it on the one stop. But again, we've seen so many madness. Hashtag no bias. The TSR cars are scrapping. They're side by side, making their way towards Lake Com.
I think it's just a simple position switch.
That might be tactical, is what you're thinking then?
Yeah.
So Joe ahead of Swablu, trying to forge a bit of pace. Then again, the dirty air's still going to be affecting one of them.
As Ollie and Spooky are going at it.
The battle for the lead in the LM category. Here we are on board with car 216. Making our way through for one. Again, double apex. A little bit shaky from the Alpine. Manages to get a bit of a speed coming up towards the Piff Path. Snort McGee is joining me in the booth.
You suck.
I know I suck. I am the worst when it comes to names, alright? Ollie had to dive out of the way there in order to get past the TSR cars. Meanwhile, Spooky has a bit of a cleaner run, so less compromised. The Alpine isn't gaining that much on the straights. We did have a comment earlier, I will address it. Opinions on Ollie's setup versus TKS's, because of course they are both in hybrids. It would seem Ollie has definitely geared his car more towards straight line. That seems to work quite well, given he's able to stay ahead in sectors 1 and 3, and therefore it makes it very difficult for anyone to overtake him in sector 2. TKS perhaps a little bit more handling oriented, but then again, naturally in BOP testing, the R18 hybrid has a better top speed than the TSO50.
It's always been the more top speed heavy hybrid. I know because I raced at Le Mans.
Just breaking into slipstream again goes Spooky, but it isn't enough, as we mentioned. Ollie managing to stay ahead. Also, the R18 hybrid benefits a lot from heavy braking zones. That is mainly how its hybrid charges, from going really high speed to really low speed, and that is exactly what you have here at Spa-Francorchamps. Plenty of braking zones, such as at La Source, and of course the bus stop chicane as well.
I think the same goes for the Porsche as well. It really benefits of heavy zones and long straights, but to recharge a bit of that hybrid.
The Alpine seems a bit faster through the middle sector, so Spooky seems set up for downforce. Well, we're about 1/4 of the way left to go. Perhaps just over that. Spooky does have a bit of a run again. Sorry if there's even more madness going off in the GTs or whatever, but there's contact between the leaders! Oh, and there's a spin! Oh no! Spooky hasn't picked up damage somehow! How on earth has that happened? Ollie neither! What on earth? He full on Beybladed it, and just... That was like when Colin McRae rolled his Subaru at the X Games, changed gear, went upside down, and then just got on with it again. What on earth was that? It looked like Spooky just caught the inside curb, which sent them a bit wide on their trajectory. Ollie also turned in a little bit. It was close with the amount of room. How on earth did they avoid that one? That was safety car written all over it.
Oh, TKS is in the pits. TKS is damaged. TKS is
How has
crashed.
TKS got damage from this? He's got engine damage as well.
He took the damage from them.
Has anyone else picked up damage? Is that like a GT? Was that from a GT lapping, or was that by himself?
It's by himself.
It was by himself, so he just didn't call mechanical damage in the chat because it was by himself. That is such a costly mistake for TKS. What on earth just happened there?
It's been a great race weekend so far in general. We had Formula E, MotoGP. It's all been surprises. It's all been surprises.
Mate, the NES has been delivering so much so far this season. I don't like to brag, but I will.
Gran Turismo needs dynamic weather.
It does, and hopefully we'll get a return to that in Gran Turismo 7. The Nukeshot Endurance Series has raced here before. This is the first time in the main season that we've raced here. Season 2 was the last time.
It wasn't there in Season 5, right?
5.5. Or actually, no,
Yeah,
I think we did.
I think it wasn't in the game still.
We did a championship, like a non-championship race, I recall.
Yeah.
I think we had like a week off or something. It was during the week break.
Yeah, I think because of the Season 5 calendar was made before Spa came out.
Oh, someone else is in the pits. That's CJ. CJ got damaged? No. This is scheduled. This is his 2 stop. This is his 2 stop.
He has the breathing room now.
Would he
because
go for that?
At this point, everyone has to come in for another set.
Do they? I think
because
Spooky's
Ollie
fine.
went very early, Spooky also went very early, and CJ also went very early.
Spooky might struggle a little bit for fuel. He's a bit worse off than the Audi ahead of him. As the 2 TSR cars into the pits for their scheduled second stop. They evidently following CJ, recognising he's on the Classic 2 stop as well in the LM, so coming in at the same time. Where will this drop them back out at? Fred Dude's already gone past, and the TSR cars haven't even made it to their pit stalls yet. That is the kind of strategy error I was thinking might have happened to these guys. They got to fuel up a lot as well.
It's been a great race weekend. In general, MotoGP, great race. Went from dry to wet. A lot of people fell. Surprise win, surprise podium. Then we had, by the way, congratulations to Nick de Vries winning the Formula E championship.
Oh, spoiler alert for that one, Chief. As Groot does manage to just about get ahead of Joe on pit exit.
If everyone probably knew that already by now.
Well, I didn't, so thanks for that.
Oh, you're welcome.
Oh, so we're hearing from CJ. CJ, was this while you were in the pit? I think this was while he was in the pit, so I'll allow it.
I hope so.
No texting and driving, Chief. Groot manages to just about stay ahead. Do they know Joe manages to get ahead? But Joe runs wide! Groot manages to pull up alongside again. Do they manage to keep it? Joe's got to stay ahead for the section.
Ooh,
Sector 2, and yes, they do manage to get that to work. So, again, sorry. What CJ has said in the chat is TKS crashed out while trying to lap one of the TSR BMWs. Oh, both of them, perhaps, at Radeon. So, he's had that damage for a long time if he got it at Radeon. And that was engine damage as well, we saw, so that would have cost him so much time.
About 9 laps to go.
He's 27 back from CJ. A minute and 5 from Ollie.
27? I'm on 24.
It's lap 24 for the LMs, yes. I was just referring to the gap between TKS and CJ, which is now 28 seconds.
Oh.
TKS has gone purple in Sector 2. This could be a fastest lap of the race. Spooky does have it. Honourable mention, as it's probably about to be beaten. Or not. Never mind then.
I like the comment from Hayden. Spooky Lukey, good. Never mind.
Oh dear, what on earth?
Spooky Lukey could do the old spin and win here.
The Hypnodisc strategy, spin to win.
the Robot Wars strategy.
There we go. Oh dear, the Pit of Oblivion is somewhere in here.
But he is within slipstream range.
He is. Let's have a look at the tyre life. Again, we mentioned Spooky's worse off for fuel, but if he can make it, then his car's going to be a bit lighter.
All his tyres are worse.
Both of these guys are reserves, I should say, so neither of them have ballast. This is pure non-hybrid versus hybrid action here today at the front of the field.
I am not trying to be biased, but I like hybrids more.
Oh, I quite like non-hybrids more, so it's balanced out in that.
I drive a Porsche.
Actually, I do drive a L750, but also the 908, so fun times.
Yeah, you're more a non-hybrid peasant.
I can
non-technology.
drive anything. I'm just that great.
You don't like technology. You're scared of technology.
Oh, like that one meme with the billboard.
Technology!
Technology! Ah! Unbelievable scenes. So we are coming up towards the closing stages of the race. Looking at the track map, Ollie is in first, of course, Spooky in second. They're very close together. We know that the Alpine catches in Sector 2. These guys are going to catch the traffic one last time before the end of this.
Just like 3 weeks ago, or 4 weeks ago.
However many weeks ago it was.
Monza.
There we go. TKS, meanwhile, has managed to salvage fastest lap of the race, 157.7. What could have been if it wasn't for that mistake when lapping the TSR cars? We don't actually know what specifically happened. We only have CJ's account of it. Perhaps something for the stewards to look at. It's normally the responsibility of the LM car to get past. Eau Rouge and Radion, it is pretty much just one line, so you got to stay patient.
Oh wait, look at this.
What's happening?
He's gonna try to send it.
It is the battle for the lead.
Oh, he puts it on the side. Oh, they make a little bit of contact.
Onion barges once again. The hybrid will kick in. Oh, shut up,
I don't
man.
ever wish to make it.
Shut up, man. It's like, look, I was going to say something, man. I was going to say that's my excited scream, but...
Also,
look,
fun fact,
it's
Ollie
juicy
drives
action.
on an automatic gearbox.
Go on, Ollie! Do it for the auto. Wait, I thought you said everyone's been using an auto box for you.
Yeah, Ollie's using an auto box.
Yeah, he's actually using an auto box, as is TKS.
TKS, wait a minute. Wybear is using an auto box.
Go
Fred
on,
Dude is using an
Wybear!
auto. Fred is using an auto box. D-Lock is using an auto box. Swablu is using an auto box.
No, that
Joe,
has to be a glitch for some of these guys.
This has to be a glitch because almost everyone is on an auto box.
I would have, maybe Wybear could have used an auto box, because they typically naturally do over-rev the car a bit, which wastes a little bit of fuel. So maybe they've switched up to that, so they shifted a little bit sooner. But probably not. It's probably just a glitch. Yeah, okay. The leaders are coming through the traffic. It's the two TSR BMWs once again. Squeezing their way through around the outside. Is there room
I
for
thought there was
them?
a bit of contact with the LMPs there. I spoke... ignore that sentence. I spoke half Dutch that sentence. Ignore that.
Unbelievable scenes.
Ongelofelijke scènes.
Yes, Is also has the good English. Back in Slipstream goes Spooky. Oh, off goes Ollie. That could be a penalty for them. They ran wide at Blanchimont.
Coming up to D-Lug now. Look at how close he is.
Oh, to the inside, but the hybrid's going to get it on exit. Look at that rocket as they put down the power.
Hey. Don't cheer for the hybrids now. Don't switch teams.
Look, I cheer for the action, alright? I cheer for the racecraft.
Fair enough. Go action!
Oh no, Ollie's going to be held up actually by D-Look. This could be something similar. Oh, he goes for it!
Oh, Spooky, look, he also goes for it! Oh.
That was extremely risky. D-Look had to take avoiding action. Spooky does get ahead through all of this. Tomsoft gets lapped. And it looks like Spooky is going to be ahead for the crucial Sector 2.
Unbelievable scenes.
I quite like this track.
As I think Swablu and Joe switch places again.
They're not even in the top 8 overall. Where are they?
Let me have a look.
5th place, 6th, okay. Top 3,
5th,
4th,
5th,
5th and 6th. This really isn't working out for them. They got 7.2 seconds to make up to D-Lock. So the strategy call has been pretty bad. Oh, Sniff McGee, okay. Man's still feeling the after effects of his illness.
Nah, you know what? It's called hay fever.
Oh, hay fever. Oh, can we get some
Pollen
F's in
allergy,
chat
bro.
for Mika? I think everyone's finished their scheduled stops at least by this stage, so it is pretty much just a sprint to the line. All the gaps are as they are.
So if I run up into Fred, dude, oh.
Has to go to the outside. Gets it stopped. And the R18 should pull a bit closer.
The LMPs always look so big, but they're smaller than all the GT cars.
Yeah, you don't realise until you actually see a comparison between an LM and a GT, just how small they are. Some of the VGTs, admittedly, are quite large, like the Bugatti and the Tomahawk come to mind in terms of that, but the actual LMP real-life cars are very, very small.
I've been to the 6 Hours of Spa, and if you see, a few times actually, if you see the old Porsche, the 2018 Porsche next to, I don't know, the Corvette is so much bigger. It's insane, the difference is insane. How small an LMP car basically is. Or even, just a quick thing, when I was in Formula 1 in 2016 at the Hockenheim Ring, they showed the old 2015 car from Mercedes, and it's actually very, very small. Not compared to now, they're huge now. But in 2015 they were actually quite small.
I'm just seeing... Go to 7th and 8th, Mika. Again, another battle which has been close and is starting to come together again towards the end of this. It's Tom Soft in 7th overall, D-Look in 8th. This is the battle for the final step on the podium.
Oh,
D-Look has a massive tyre advantage.
Ollie went very, very wide there. Oh, there's also... Oh! She just made a bit of contact with one of the TSR guys coming out of the corner, I think.
Oh yeah, Ollie did go to Narnia. Manages to rejoin. Very easy to spin out in that circumstance, but he did the right thing, used the runoff. Oh, and he's starting to oversteer a bit. The pressure's starting to get to Ollie.
And his tyres are very, very sharp.
Let's see the comparison. Actually, the tyres aren't too different between the two cars.
But that front left is pretty much done for Ollie. The front left and the rear right are very, very worn. Oh no, wait a minute, no, it's the other way around. Luke's rear right is very worn, and Ollie's left front is very worn.
Okay, I'm just gonna go on board here with Tomsoft, the rear wing cam. The gap, 0.5 of a second. D-Look is in slipstream. He does indeed, 157.701. You also see the two TSR BMWs in the background. Now, Tomsoft might be a bit cheeky here and try and hold up D-Look so the two BMWs manage to gain a place on him. But it'll be difficult.
Super does have a surprisingly good straight line speed.
Well, you say surprising. Look at it. It's rocketing past. It makes its way up into the final podium position. Never say that again on stream.
No,
what was that? What on earth was that from Tomsoft? He's gone off. He's giving up the position.
Back, yeah.
Oh, that was extremely reckless. We've got to hope that D-Look doesn't have damage. He doesn't. Oh, wow. Let's see that
I was
from
going
the
to say, I have to
off-road.
correct that. It's German power because it's BMW.
Okay, let's see from this particular angle what happens.
Oh,
So,
Tomsoft goes wide again.
the tyres are cooked on the front of Tomsoft.
Oh, and he slides more.
That seemed like it was avoiding action initially after he realised he outbroke
CJ's in the
himself.
wall!
CJ's in the wall, what on earth?
He's hit the wall, but he has no damage somehow.
We're gonna see... how on earth? Where was this? Was it the second part of the pit pit?
Yeah.
Oh! Yeah, Fred dude, not too cooperative. with the LM car there. Wasn't expecting him to be on the outside.
It is a scroll through, or else I wouldn't have even seen it. Quentin.
So 2 2/3 of a lap left to go in the race.
The two TSR cars are getting very close to D-Luck.
Yeah, they're being lapped though by TKS.
D-Luck, having not the greatest qualifying, is basically in 3rd place at the moment.
I know, he's really made that strategy work for himself. He's going to have a little bit of slipstream perhaps from the TSO 50.
So we have about nearly 2 laps to go.
What will be crucial for D-Luck is keeping the BMWs out of slipstream. We know the BMWs have done 1 stop more, so they have... Although, saying that, the tyre advantage isn't anywhere near as much as I would have expected for doing a whole another stop.
Yeah,
so
fair enough.
They're just killing the tyres there with the downforce that the cars produce. And they're fighting amongst each other. Yep. So Swablu ahead of Joe. So Swablu's going to be the one to lead the attack through Sector 2. Guys, again, if you want to leave a like for all this action that we're seeing here on Nukeshot Media, be sure to do so. We have weekly streams of this series, if for some reason you didn't know, the Nukeshot Endurance series. Next week it will be AmSplit, so be sure to subscribe with notifications if you want to know when that goes live.
Please watch, I need attention.
Sota in chat saying the TSR battle is costing them the chance to get D-Luck. That seems to be why Swablu has now seemingly been let go to chase D-Luck up ahead. They may have had a bit of an internal team radio talk to see who has the better tyre life.
Please, I need attention. Please watch next week, please.
Shut up, man.
I need more fans. Please support Fanta.
Going onto the straight, well, I say straight, flat out section through Blanchimont. The BMWs are catching, they are in slipstream range. Swablu's going to have to send it into the bus stop. Decides not to on this occasion, but crucially they are in slipstream. Joe has outbroke himself, had to get very offline in order to avoid hitting his teammate. That could be Joe's chance of getting past D-Luck done, depending on how the swabbling goes.
The swabbling?
Oh dear, that was... Get rid of this guy. Why do we have him here?
Hey. Why some disrespect?
We're up to 12 viewers. Again, like and subscribe.
Oh, shut up.
Ybear has had a very quiet race since he got past Fred Dude. He's been churning out the laps. Again, I don't want to sound biased, but...
Amazingly consistent, looking after his pit stop, the time he's setting 15. Slowly working up to 16, having made a mistake on lap 24 where he had a 217. But it's also been slowly going up as the tyre wear goes off his tyre, and slowly starting to drop off. Very good stint.
We just saw Swablu has managed to get past D-Luck going through Lake Holm.
Luki is on his final lap.
Here it was. It wasn't quite the slipstream run he would have wanted, but he did manage to outbrake him and is ahead. Now, will D-Luck be able to keep Joe behind through Sector 2?
That is the question.
Woohoo! The Spice!
Yes.
5.4 seconds.
Yes.
5.4 seconds, the gap between first and second in the LM category. In the GTs, first and second look pretty much decided, but the battle for the final step on the podium still very hotly contested. Swablu currently holds that spot and has just about broken out of slipstream range. Will the Supra get back inside of it though? It doesn't quite look like it. So we could see Joe make an attack as they run towards Blanchimont, going on board with the Joe 2 guy. No doubt there's going to be an attack. D-Luck goes to the inside. Joe has to just about lift, I think, in order to avoid any kind of...
D-Luck opens up the inside. Maybe to get a better run into the next corner.
Dives to the inside goes the Joe 2 guy, gets it stopped.
Great move there from Joe.
But will the Supra be able to get a run in the slipstream again?
Lukey's in his final sector.
Lukey on a fantastic... I think this is his debut in the series, believe it or not. So. He may have been in 5.5 or something, but his first main season entry, car 216. What a fantastic race it has been for them.
One of the biggest numbers we've ever seen.
Making his way through the bus stop for the final time, Spooky Lukey is our winner for round 3 Pro Split in the LM category. Nukeshot Endurance Series Season 6. Ollie Polly will have to settle for second place in the end, 5.6 seconds back.
216, isn't that your weight?
Shut up, man.
Godline, that was a very good joke.
It was awful. Next across the line will indeed be Crazy John. What could have been if it wasn't for being on that 2-stop strategy?
And as he drifts out of the corner.
Perhaps forced onto that strategy by the car's tyre wear after cut his losses. Still gets third place though.
TKS. The next one to cross the line.
Really unfortunate for them, but they did get fastest lap in the end, a 157.701. And fourth place, that's still very solid points. That'll count towards the end of the season.
And here becomes one of my teammates.
I, of course, team manager.
His first time in the Pro Class, I think. Yeah, his first Pro Class win.
Well, congratulations if that stat is correct. To Wyber.
He was an AM. He was an AM in season 5, I think.
No, I think he was Pro Split. He was teammates with Joe. Yeah, he was. Oh. That was back when we was in the FT1s and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, I'm still confused with season 4 where he was an AM and Wake was in Pro Split.
Fred Dude has to settle for second on their return to their home race, but tell you what though, a first, B3. A second, and a second for Fred Dude in the opening 3 races. That is extremely impressive consistency.
Decent result for D-Luck after having a bit of a shaky start and a shaky qualifying, still managing to pull it back to P5 on a 1-stop.
It was third for Swablu, fourth for the Joe 2 guy, fifth for D-Luck in the end. Groot comes home in 6th place, not quite able to capitalise. And Tom Soft with the final position. He's out of fuel! Oh, that is... You know what, I think Tom Soft could have even lost more positions because he ran out of fuel. Like, could Groot have been behind him? But then he ran out of fuel and then Groot passed him there. Who knows?
I love Spooky's helmet! Wee Razor.
Unbelievable scenes. That replay's getting saved. Oh, that was madness. That was madness. Here are your results again, just to confirm. Spooky Lukey taking the win with that fantastic result. It was indeed an Alpine coming out on top, but not the one we perhaps were expecting. I think they actually qualified last as well, did Spooky. Yeah. They made up 3 positions. So, great result by them. It was Ollie taking 2nd place after their strong pole position couldn't quite pull it off in the end. Perhaps, as I mentioned, the hybrid of the R18 not quite as strong for race pace as it is for qualifying pace. CJ, 3rd place, another solid result for them. Perhaps would have hoped for a bit more. And TKS, 4th in the end, but very hardly fought, and if it weren't for that damage, they could have finished a little bit higher up. Going to the GTs, it was indeed Wybear of Nukeshot Motorsport, big up, hashtag no bias, in the Peugeot RCZ, finally getting it done. I'm going to blame it all on my, or credit rather, on my special damping technology. 100% my doing. Fred Dude taking second place. Again, first in round 1, second in round 2, second in round 3. He is looking to be very much the championship favourite as we make our way through the season. Swablu takes the final step on the podium for the Team Simtact Racing BMW squad, with Joe in 4th place, their teammate. D-Look in 5th for Paradox Autoworks. That one-stop strategy looked like it was going to work for them, but they lost the positions on the second to last lap, and the last lap itself, of course. So, unfortunate for them, but it was worth giving it a shot, and very interesting to see the multiple strategies working out in the end, to be very close. Groot, meanwhile, was 6th in class. Not the best of races for them. We'll be hoping to bounce back next time out. And Tomsoft takes the final place in the GT category. That is 7th. Interviews. In chat, let's see your reactions in chat to what has been a fantastic race. Michael Junker, someone new to the chat. I don't quite recognise your name. Can I custom my own car? You can enter the series. You can get in chat. Can someone send him a link in chat to the Discord? Perhaps that would be helpful.
On my way.
Okay, so that's pretty much everything sorted there. We do have a couple
Do you want
interviews.
the SRF one or the Nukeshot one?
The Nukeshot one if possible, Mika, if you could send that.
No, I don't want to go to Twitter.
You never know.
Why not?
I don't know.
Well, while Mika's doing that, we have TSR Swablu here today. Swablu, 3rd place. We'll do a quick audio check, then I'll see if you can. If your audio.
He has got all his settings enabled, but it's been weird lately for him.
I think it's parental control.
Yeah.
Something along those lines.
Hold on, let me check.
It might be working, but I doubt it.
If not, we'll have to feedback someone's mic into our headset.
Is it working? I can't tell. If it is, then it's quiet.
It is.
Okay.
Okay then.
Well, Swablu, 3rd place in the end today. A fantastic scrap towards the end of things. It looked like the one stop was the way to go. Did you guys anticipate how long the pit delta actually was here today?
So, before the race we did do a quick pit delta test and it was around 29 seconds I believe, which initially I did think it was quite a big gap to make up. But I think with the M6's tyre wear anyway, it would have been hard to make that gap back up doing a one stop.
Well, it was a fantastic race. Fought, of course, right to the end. D-Look and your teammate there. 2-on-1 situation. I know you guys do synergize a bit with the party chats. I assume you was in this one the whole time because you was here before the race
Yeah, we didn't
started. Were there any tactics or anything that you guys tried to employ? Not anything, of course, dirty or like anything of that sort, but like, how do you guys go about that kind of thing? Because you got to stop fighting each other in order to make up the position on the car ahead.
Yeah, so we kind of had an agreement not to battle each other too much and just swap around in slipstream so that we can catch up to the guys with better top speed.
We didn't really battle at all, we were just doing the slipstream thing.
Well, it seemed to just about work out in the end. Did you guys think you could perhaps have challenged the likes of Fred Dude or Wybear if you did do a one-stop, or was it just like game over at that stage?
I think game over really. If we tried a one-stop, the tyres would have died way too quick.
Ah, well, of course, we'll have to... words, hold on. Brain calculating.
Brain is calculating.
If it was the fastest thing to do, then fair play. It looked a bit off and strange at the time, but I guess you did make up the time in the end. Congratulations on a third place. Over to Joe.
Hello.
Again, your thoughts on what was a very thrilling battle towards the end of the race. The series does tend to bring quite a few of those.
It does. Well, as we've said, we were keeping each other going as fast as we could with the slipstream. I think without that we would have been in slow laps anyway. So we had to keep that going and just hope that we caught people when they're on the older tyres.
Yeah, I'm trying to think again. Mika, do you have any questions as I'm just typing?
No.
It's hard to resist bump drafting when you're constantly doing that.
Yes, I noticed it was very close going through...
One time, it was me behind Fred, but my car didn't quite have the acceleration to get there.
Yeah, I think it was through Eau Rouge or Radion, which is one line. Again, I said on stream that I'd probably allow that because it's impossible to do anything else.
Yeah, I don't think I was actually pushing him because I couldn't see anything when I looked back on the camera. Normally you can.
Yep, well, fair
Which
play.
ain't scab anyway.
Perhaps we were expecting a little bit better from you, Joe. Well, again, no offense, of course, but
Wow.
it hasn't been the best of starts to the season for you, and that's a surprise given your record here in the Nukeshot Endurance
It's
Series.
this thing called tyres, yeah. We just don't have the life at the moment.
Well, is there anything setup-wise that you think you can do about it?
I don't really know. We've been trying things. This is better than it has been. So
Well-
at Nürburgring, they were going off after about 5 laps. Like, really going off.
Well, I guess I'd wish you the best in trying to find a solution. Nevertheless, 4th place, solid points. Of course, you are one of the few 2-car teams out there. You've been very strong in the team's championship, of course. I think you're still leading that. Your thoughts going into the next round? Not sure where it is, but wherever
It's the
it is.
wet Tokyo.
Is it actually? Oh no.
Yes.
Oh no.
Oh.
Oh, Nelly.
Tokyo East Outer Loop, in the dark, in the rain.
Yeah, so your thoughts when we make a trip and pack our bags to go to Tokyo?
I would like some more top speed. That's my thoughts. Probably the car in this class, that's being used as the lowest top speed, we need a bit more.
How much are you willing to pay for my Nukeshot damping technology? You probably see it anyway, but still. You
Yeah,
can just
I
scroll
see
enough.
the code.
Oh dear. Well, nevertheless, I hope that you do manage to find something to do with that.
Do
in
what
the
we can,
future.
it shouldn't be as bad on tyres there.
One benefit at least, you're quite low on success ballast.
I suppose 1 and 2% for us. That mostly affects the acceleration, so that can help.
In 2 weeks' time. Let's see who else is around.
You have a Lukey and a Fred.
Yeah, you know what? Let's go with Spooky. Spooky Lukey, you are a race winner in the Nukeshot Endurance Series. How do you feel?
And before you answer, are your audio sharing settings wrong?
Yes, they are. I've checked. I've done this before.
Okay, fantastic.
Now you can answer.
Okay,
Professionalism.
how was it?
Just feel absolutely buzzing. Coming into this, I wasn't expecting a lot. after quali, I really wasn't expecting anything. I was like, maybe a battle for third at best. Then when Joe went, no, not Joe, CJ went and pitted early, I thought, oh, maybe I am actually in with like half a shot here. And then as the race went on, lap 21 was scary, turned into a Beyblade.
Yeah, you deployed the spin to win tactics there, embodying your inner hypno disc.
Yes. It was,
Just sigh.
Sorry, you get
quite
high
good.
quality humour here on the channel.
You suck.
Yeah, after that, I was just trying to get back, and then eventually did. Got the pass after the traffic through where we were already on, which is, I wasn't expecting it at all. I was expecting, right, I'll probably have a go into the chicane. Nope, right there, boom, done. And it was just try not to run out of fuel.
Yeah, I thought originally, when I saw you have less fuel than Ollie, I was speculating, thinking, oh no, is he going to run out of fuel in the end? Unfortunately, that happened to Tom Soft. We won't talk about that.
Oh, did it?
But yeah, unfortunate times. But yeah, that turned out that Ollie must have just been playing it a bit safer in terms of fuel.
Yeah, well, that's been mixed too for the last like 4 or 5 laps or so.
It seemed very
Also
difficult to pass the R18 on the straights of all things. Even though, of course, you are in a non-hybrid, the setup seemed to vary. You seem to go more for handling compared to Ollie with straight line.
Yeah. I'm about to die, but yeah, brilliant race. See you in 2 weeks.
Alright, fantastic. That was our race winner in the LM category, Spooky Lukey. His parental controls getting the best of him, unfortunately. But fantastic to hear from him. Fred Dude, are you still around?
I'm here.
Fred, congratulations again. You are having a fantastic opening to the season. First at Monza, second at Nürburgring, and second again here. How much ballast is it going to take for you to be off the podium?
Quite a lot, maybe. Depends on. Well, it'll just be dependent on track, of course, which track it'll be next time. So we'll see how much weight it'll be to get me off podium.
We've seen so far throughout this season the Hyundai is very good for top speed, so quite suited for this circuit. You got pole position, of course, managed to use that top speed to keep the likes of Wybear behind for quite a while. Do you think that there was anything really more you could have done after he got past, maybe challenging back? Or was it a case of the ballast plus the dirty air at that point being just a bit too much?
I mean, whenever a Wyberg got past me, I just tried to get in his draft as much as possible. So I could have at least some battle for first place with him. But then a wild TSR BMW car just shoved the car on the inside on the last turn. And that kinda like ruined the momentum for me a little bit to keep up with Wyberg to get at least in his draft. But yeah. Afterwards, Wyberg was just gone. So there was no point in me catching up to him. So I just tried to play it safe and just keep my second spot for as long as possible.
Well, again, as I mentioned, you've had the best start to the season of anyone in the series, with always finishing on the podium, 2 second places and a win. That might come back to bite you though, because Success Ballast plus Rain, which we're having next week at the Tokyo Expressway East Outer Loop, that could be a very different kettle of fish.
Oh yeah, rain is always fun to be in.
Your thoughts? Is there anything perhaps that you'd set up a bit differently for that track with, of course, the rain settings?
Oh, just use all the data. Just use as much data as you possibly can get, possibly. And yeah, and the rain especially is quite like sufficient that you get through the corners as quick as possible without sliding too much here and there. So yeah.
Well, again, congratulations on a fantastic result here at your home race as well, and hope to see you in 2 weeks' time.
Sounds good.
Is anyone else around, or have we covered everything?
Yeah.
I think that's it.
That's everyone in the party chat, at least. Well,
Yes.
again, Mika, what a fantastic race that has been.
Indeed, indeed.
And plenty more to come with Split next week. Be sure to stay tuned on the
sir.
channel for that. Should be
Will there
very
be a safety
juicy.
car?
Oh no, please don't.
Every
There hasn't
time
been
we
yet.
say that, there was a. I don't know if you
We
saw
have to
this,
hype
there-
it up.
There was a mad.
There's going to be one.
There was a mad incident. I don't know if you actually saw it. I think Spooky talked about it between him and Ollie, where he became a Beyblade, and somehow no damage occurred. I have no idea how. You need to see that back. Get me more views in the process. Don't use
Did
the
you
replay.
miss what happened to TKS then? When he was laughing us?
Yes, unfortunately we did. We saw that he got damage from it.
I think
Yeah.
it's the scariest thing I've ever seen happen in front of me.
Was he like sandwiched between the two of you?
Well, he died.
It involved him getting on the curb on the right side of Rouge Radion, and then it spat him out.
Okay.
So straight into the wall on the left, destroying his car.
And of course that's
I nearly got murdered.
a long way to actually get back to the pits as well from there. So, a costly error. There's something again to probably check on the replay. I don't know.
Yeah, so things you've missed, definitely.
Yeah, there we go. There's always something, but there was plenty to keep us entertained on the channel here today. Again, I'll do concluding comments now, I suppose, since everything's pretty much wrapped up. If you've enjoyed the stream, again, be sure to give it a like. Help spread the... Do you mind? Help spread the
You're being
channel
honest.
to your friends, family, neighbours, whatever. Fellow internet users. And, of course, subscribe to stay in touch with the notifications on as to when the streams go live. Next week it will be Split here at Circuit de Spa-Francorchamps. From all of us here at Nukeshot Media, I've been Zokeo,
I've been Ennis Mika.
and them lot have been them lot.
We've been here.
And we hope to see you next time out. Joe, probably in the commentary booth actually for that.
Yes.
Yep, so me and him will see you in a week's time. Until then, it's goodbye from us.
See ya.